Hello, welcome back to How to RPG. Today we're building characters, and I'm showing off Star Wars Saga because we will be returning in about 2 weeks, I believe, to making Star Wars characters. There are a few more that I would like to make, but you can also see Esper's Emporium of Esoterica, which is a book of all sorts of things, but also monsters, and there's a few playable options in there as well. But we are going to be building a monstrous character today. We're going to build a vampire, part of his Kickstarter for Monstrous Heroes, and since I've been a part of sort of chatting with him about that project and played in one of his games just recently, we're all kind of showing it off, trying it out, and I wanted to try out something out that was 5e compatible, and it is 5e compatible. So that means I will have to be using this book, but there will also be a PDF. All the information on that character building process is down in the description for all that information. Somehow I've managed to pull out my earplugs early. I don't know why I've done that. Oh, hang on, down there. Apparently I've decided that so I could hear everything. Okay, so I'm jumping the gun a little bit, but so yeah, make sure you have some dice today because we're going to be rolling some dice. I'm going to ask you to roll dice. I'm going to put up a poll for you there right now so you can take part in that. Hi, F. Hubba. How's it going, Fred? Okay, so make sure you have some food, some drink. Make sure you are comfortable, and I'm going to go through my main presentation, which is basically around character building. Okay. And the process, and then we're going to actually make a vampire today. That's why it says vampire character creation in the first place. All right, cool. Let's let's get on with the show. Where am I? On a different planet, clearly. Anyway. Hi, welcome to How to RPG. My name is Fred Wheeler, and today I want to talk about role-playing games, but this is all about character creation for your role-playing games. For those of you who don't know, every week I do this. I come on live and I go over the basics of building a character for any game, whether it be Dungeons and Dragons or Pathfinder, Star Wars, and there'll be a few more slowly opening themselves up as I work my way through various game systems and figure out how to actually build characters for them. Right now I'm working my way through the stuff that I know how to do, and that's the goal for today, is to work through that process. So character creation pre-check. There's a few things you need to do, and this is before you even start. I've said this sort of stuff before, so I'll go through it again. So check with your game master what player character options are available for you to play with in the game that is being run. What house rules does the game master have for character creation, because sometimes they have different rules around character creation compared to somebody else, and what do they have in terms of house rules for the actual playing of the game. It might be different to what you're used to, so check with them because that will affect how you build your character ultimately in the end. Also, build the character for the campaign on the information that is provided to you by your game master or dungeon master. And if they don't provide you with any information so you can do that, ask for relevant details. Ask for information. You're not trying to get spoilers about the adventure or the campaign, but you're going to get enough information from them to allow you to make a character that will actually work with the adventure and the campaign. Otherwise, you're making a character that doesn't fit the game. And it's much harder to make a character fit the adventure if you have 4 or 5 all doing their own thing. So it's better to work towards building it for the adventure and campaign. Now, character creation always starts as a group discussion because playing a character in a role-playing game it's a team sport. It's a team activity. You're part of a group machine. So like any team sport, you're going to make sure you do all your planning and your training together, and then when you actually play a match, you play together. So you have to do all of that together. You can't really do it separately. That doesn't mean you can't do a bit of research before you do the group discussion about your character creation. You certainly do that. That's fine. But ultimately, the final thing needs to be developed with each other at the game table or in a virtual game table if that's what you're using. Okay, design the character around all aspects of play. So Your exploration, okay, make sure you focus on exploration, communication, and combat, not just making a one-trick pony, because if you do that, you wind up only being able to engage in the game in one aspect of the campaign or adventure, whereas you want to be able to engage in everything when the opportunity arises. Ask about what sort of ability or attribute score method is going to be used. So when you determine the attributes or ability scores for your character, ask what method's going to be used and when are you going to use it. So are you going to use point buy, standard arrays? Are you going to use some other system? Are you going to use rolling of dice? And if you're rolling dice, make sure you roll your dice in front of the Game Master or Dungeon Master and the group. Otherwise, you're going to be accused of cheating, so it's best to make sure you do that all openly with everybody. Don't do that behind a closed door where you miraculously manage to roll a score that got you 3 18s. That would be very, very suspicious. Determine what hit point or health point method is going to be allowed and when you can actually put that in place. So are you going to be using maximum hit points or health points? Are you going to be using the average? Are you going to be rolling dice for that process? Have a discussion, figure out what it is going to be, and then make sure when you're rolling dice, if you're rolling dice for hit points, again with the ability scores or attribute scores, make sure you do it in front of your Game Master or Dungeon Master, so you can't be accused of cheating. Okay, character creation is always going to be down to a character sheet. So there are different character sheet formats. You have your standard paper character sheet where you use a pen or pencil. I would suggest a pencil so you can rub things out. If you're printing it out, then it's going to be a bit different. Then using a pen or a pencil won't matter. You often get fillable PDFs as a character sheet nowadays, where you can just fill in entries and then print it out, or have just a digital copy on your computer, which is kind of easy to transport or send over to a Game Master or Dungeon Master when you need to. Okay, computer software, website, character builders. There's a few out there. The vast majority are for 5e, but there are some systems out there that do have character builders on websites. And then your smartphone application character builder. Smartphones are very smart, so you can actually build your character on your phone. And that's quite a common thing, particularly for the younger generation who are kind of used to just hanging onto their phone all the time. You'll be able to build your character there. If you're ever going to make your character as a digital entity, I would always suggest having like a physical paper copy as well, just in case viruses, attack it and destroy it, or you have this horrible situation where for some strange reason your actual technology and your power goes out and you've got no power, and if you have a paper copy, then you can still play. Character creation basics. These are the basics that you would go through when building a character. Select the level for your character. What level are you starting at? Write it down on the character sheet. The Game Master will explain to you what character level you will start at, because not every single game starts at level 1. Often you'll find that some games might start at level 0, where you don't actually have any heroic levels. You might not have a character class yet at all. You might be starting at level 3 or 5 or even higher. So first check with them what level the character needs to be. Select the class or career path, the heroic class, the character type for your character, and write down the relevant details on your character sheet. Select the race or species or the playable monster type. In this case, we'll be using playable monsters today for your character, and write down the relevant details on the character sheet. Select your background if you have a background. Aspects for your character. If you're playing something like Fate, if you're playing 5e, you might have backgrounds or something else. And write down that information down on the character sheet. I keep saying this, but I'm going to keep saying it. Now, this might also include a backstory in a narrative form, where you actually write something up as a paragraph, or maybe some people might write a page. But as a general rule, most Game Masters only really need you to answer 4 or 5 questions, and a paragraph usually does that. You can also not worry about writing up a backstory as a narrative. What you can do is you can do that later. Now, the idea being is that players create their backstory from playing the game. Okay, this allows for maximum flexibility, so you can actually make your character fit what's going on with the group. And maybe if you didn't have all the ideas fleshed out, you can do that later. But also, too, another aspect to that is you consider your first levels that you play. Maybe you're playing from level 1 through to level 4 or 5. That is your backstory. That period there for for your character is your backstory. Maybe if you're playing from zero, you're playing a 0 level character, maybe playing the 0 level character builds the backstory for you. So you're playing to build the backstory. Okay, this is a concept and a process that is still used today by some people, but it was quite common back in the day, many years ago. Select your character customization. So a lot of systems for role-playing games have customization, whether that be feats, talents, traits, skills, and features. Like pick the stuff that your game master has allowed you to select from and incorporate that into your character and write it down. Determine the character's ability or attribute scores with the method approved by the game master. This means you're rolling your dice or you're doing your point buy or your standard array. So you determine all of that stuff. And of course you will be determining your hit points or health points as well on top of that. Okay, so some advanced details on your character sheet that you might need to deal with. Select the powers, the spells for your character if you have the ability to use spells or you have some sort of powers. If you're playing a superhero game, you might have stunts or powers, and write them down on the character sheet. Select or buy equipment for your character and write down the relevant details. Look, I will say right now, I always consider if there's an option to select predetermined equipment, do that. And then if you've got money left over, then go and buy some additional stuff as well. You will find that the predetermined packages are often a huge advantage and they save a lot of time. Then you want to calculate all of your bonuses, your modifiers for your character. That's around saving throws, if you've got that, attack rolls, skills, ability modifiers or bonuses, all that sort of stuff. Select or draw a character portrait. It's not vital, but it does help connect your concept in your mind and imagination to a physical medium, which is basically either a digital form or on a piece of paper. Now remember, you don't need to get too self-conscious about this because it's only for you. Nobody else needs to see it. Okay? I always have some miscellaneous recommendations, and these are my recommendations to you. All character options can be customized. So make your own stuff. Adjust them. All you need is Game Master approval. Again, I would say don't go and harass your Game Master or Dungeon Master. Have an adult conversation with them and come to an agreement. Remember, they're running the game, so they kind of call the shots. Okay, if you don't like the way they run the game, then you can leave. But you can potentially adjust a lot of things. There'll be certainly new Dungeon Masters and Game Masters are probably not going to be too fond of too much customization because they haven't even got to grips with actually how the game works first. So don't expect a new Game Master to be open to customization straight away. Okay, character options don't need to be optimized. You do not need to optimize in a role-playing game. Okay, and often when we talk about optimization, it's really about combat. Depending on the system you're playing, it really isn't necessary. You can just build a character that you feel is the kind of character you wanted to make and will work with the campaign, the game master, and the other players at the table. That's fine. Okay, it doesn't need to be a powerhouse. You do not need to optimize. Select the adventuring gear. Okay, go and select some adventuring gear. Get some gear on your character. Anybody can do it. Make use of the fact that you can prepare yourself for things that your character can't do. Okay, there's always going to be something that your character might want to do in terms of a task or an action, and your character's sheet won't tell you you can do that because you need to have equipment. So go get yourself set up. I have a series of videos that talk about how to use mundane equipment in your games. Okay, note down the page number in your role-playing game book for all of your powers. So you might find it's difficult to write down all the information on your character sheet. There might not be enough space. So this is where you're going to put page numbers beside everything. A page number for your power descriptions, your spell descriptions. Spell descriptions are quite complicated and sometimes quite long, so it's a good idea. Your race information or species abilities, your character type or class, and any background features and other miscellaneous bits and pieces that you might have. Write it all down with a page number. Even if you can't get down all the information on the character sheet, you can at least put down the page number. Now, why would you do this? One, because it's easy, quick reference for you, so you don't look like an idiot trying to find stuff. and 2, you can provide the Game Master and Dungeon Master with the information they need when they're unsure of that particular feature or ability, so that they don't have to try trawling through books or pages to find stuff. You've already worked all that out for them in advance, like the good player that you are. So I'm hoping that this was useful to you, and if it was, fantastic. I'm glad to hear it. I want to thank all of my patrons who support me every month to actually continue running this program. And hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s. All right, give me a second. Okay, let's transition over. And so we are making a character today, obviously, and I will just sweep on over to our screen. You will need dice, people, so make sure you have 4 6-sided dice. We're going to be rolling abilities in a second. I'm going to try to show you more of the monster stuff in the earlier part of the stream rather than later part of the stream, because I didn't do that last time, and I don't think that worked out very well. So F Hubber, hi Fred, I already said hi to you. Larry the Leech, you want to call the vampire Larry the Leech? I suppose we could. Do we really need to do that though? Is it necessary to call Larry the Leech, or are we going to call her Larry the Leech? That would be funny. Joe Bludden. Oh my gosh, the names are coming. Okay, so look, it seems to me you guys want to name this. Hashtag name the vampire. Name the vampire. Get it out of your system, and I'll put down some names. Osric the Dwarf, how are you doing? You've played a fair few games of Vampire the Masquerade. So yes, I have played a vampire. Interesting. Yeah, somebody was asking me about Vampire of the Masquerade and whether I would be doing anything on my channel, and I said eventually, but probably not right now. Yeah, I've got quite a lot to work with as it is. I'm working my way through stuff. What's this, Jeremy? Our vampire clearly needs to be named Vampire McVampireface. Yeah. So I felt like the best way I could take the Mickey out of vampires was Transylvania Hotel, which it's got some fun things in it, but it's pretty hokey, you know. So, and it certainly it's designed for a much younger audience. So taking the piss out of it, I consider it to be perfectly legitimate. What do we got here? Make it a female Ivana. I suppose we could, but do we need to? I do think... we go, hi Michael. So Michael is a patron. Welcome to the stream. Blard. Oh, Blard. He's Vlad's special needs cousin vampire. Oh my gosh. If we were naming vampires, Blood Baby Bob, Blood Bag Bobby, Joe Bludden, Bruden the Impaler, Ivan Bitterneck, Ivana Bitterneck. Not bad. I hate to say it, I think I like Michael's Blood Bag Bobby more than anybody else's. Because it is, I mean, it's silly. I agree. Blood Bag Bobby. I'll make a note of that one. There we go. I've written it down. Okay, let me get over to the information that we need, which is the screen here. No. That's not working. Why is that not working? Ah, that's because I haven't done this. All right. Okay, that's better. Might need to get my phone working too. That might help, eh? And am I live? I should be. Can I see everybody? You're trying, Fred. You're trying. No problems. You keep trying. You're going to all need to start rolling dice very shortly, but let me just whip on over to the appropriate screen. Yes, this is what I want to show you. And is my head in the way? No, it's not. Thank God for that. Okay. All right. So this is what I'm currently looking at. So this is Monstrous Heroes. Esper the Bard's preview PDF is now version 5. You can go to his Patreon. Down in the description, you'll find a link to that, so you can go and get it. I have to keep updating it as he keeps changing it. So next, we're going to scroll down. The one we're looking at is, because there's going to be 14 of these, but he's got the vampire already sorted out. We did the Minotaur already, so I'm going to skip past the Minotaur. There is apparently hot links in here, he mentioned to me, and I'm clearly not doing this properly, because I would be hot linking and going filth. We haven't done this one. This is the spider creature. It looks creepy. So that'll probably be next week. We'll be doing that horrible thing next week. and there's a lot of it. Okay, we've done the ogre. I made a character called Vegemite, which I played on on Esper's channel, and frankly, it was really not terribly helpful. I feel that my character was I gimped it pretty badly. Okay, this is the vampire. So it's all written up. He's still making slight adjustments. It's got some pretty cool artwork here. And then we have it's built like any 5e character. You got 20 levels and you get something every single level. So it's not like you're missing out on anything. For those of you who are like, oh, will I get something out of this? Yes, you will. You will. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you to roll some dice. Okay. Don't jump the gun too fast. Hashtag roll 4 6-sided dice. You need to give me all the numbers, people, because part of this is a tutorial, so people need to know how we're determining the ability scores. So give me all the dice values. Okay. All right. So you're going to give me, so just like Fred has done, he's put down 4d6, 5, 2, 6, and 6. So that's what I need. I need 6 of these. So for those of you, there's only 5 people in the chat, so some of you may have to roll more than once. Okay, so while you're doing that, I am going to fill in some of the details on the character sheet, which hopefully I'm not in the way of. Okay, so that's good. Let's go here. We are a vampire. And our race is also vampire, so it's combined race and class, for those of you who are wondering. We won't worry about alignment. Background we can do later. Proficiency bonus. I think we'll build this to a level 3 vampire. No, level 5. Let's go to level 5. Okay, level 5 sounds like fun. And while you are rolling dice, I'm going to plug in some of the information that we have here. So this is the vampire's racial traits, and then after that you get the class traits. Jeremy, what do you mean? You won't believe me if I told you. Just give me the numbers. I've had people who rolled up like a 4 or 5, and some people who rolled up like an 18. We've had people roll up 18s before. It's not impossible. Okay, so the ability score increases for your vampire. Your ability scores each increase by 1. So that means you get, that's quite a strong. So you get 1 to everything. Is that something to bear in mind? Wow, core blimey. All right, so I've got 3 sets already. So we're gonna remember that we're gonna have to increase everything by 1. Our age for our vampire: do not age and are immortal unless killed. A vampire that goes an extended period of time without feeding will appear haggard and what the heck is it? Cadaverous? I'm not sure what that means. But once that it has sated itself on blood, is usually yeah, it'll be fine. Okay, so typical alignments. We've got some typical alignments here. We're not going to be What does he put down here? A good aligned vampire is considered an impossibility. Those who manage neutrality instead of evil do so through cold reasoning and so he does not allow you to be a good vampire. For those of you who are wondering, why can't I play a good vampire? Because you suck people's blood. Okay, that's the problem. You're sucking creatures' blood, so that's going to be an issue. So you're an undead. You were previously a member of a humanoid race, but after going through a dark ritual, you have transformed into a vampire. You retain none of the original race's racial traits. Oh, really? So they're all gone. You do not need to eat food or drink to survive. Also, note that most forms of healing magic do not function on the undead. Oh, dear. All right, so let's put in a few things here. Don't need to eat or drink. and just to make things interesting, which he has. How are we doing? How many sets of numbers do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. We're not going to go down that pathway. We're not going to go down that pathway. It'll always be the game master who determines that. Of course. Creature type, undead. So I guess we'll just label it undead, eh? Undead. And it's on page... We're on page 22. Page 22. So we know what that is. We are undead. Okay. Few more numbers required. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 2 more sets. Okay, our size is medium or small, so you can choose to be small if you like to. Your base speed is 30, so we can actually put in 30 now. 30 feet. And what was the next thing? Dark vision, so we have dark vision. But this is superior dark vision. So you get 120 feet of dark vision. It's pretty good. All right. So dark vision. Dark vision. Bracket. No, 120 feet. That page. It's the same page, isn't it? Page 22. Okay. Doing all right. Book name by the page. Book name by the page. Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah, I did see, I did spot it. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So Michael and Fred, since you're the only ones who are rolling dice, you may have to, or Jeremy, you're the only 3 who are rolling dice, so you might need to roll some more d6s. So I got a few more numbers. While you're doing that, I'm going to keep plugging in these details. Languages. You speak the languages of your original humanoid race. So I think what we need to do with your languages is you need to decide what race you originally were. Vampirism. See the description. Okay, vampirism. Natural weapons. Okay. Languages. 1, 5, 1. All right, we've got all our numbers now. Okay, so that's a good start. Let me finish doing this here. Vampirism and then natural weapons. You have 2 natural weapons. One is a bite, and the other one can be either claws or a slam. Okay. Vampirism and page number and how that works I don't know yet, so we're going to just put question mark for now, and then natural weapons. And this is bite, claw, and slam. And slam. And the details are on page 22. Again. Okay. All right. Let's while I'm plugging in information from the numbers you've rolled, people, hashtag what race did the vampire start as? Because this will determine our languages, okay? So we're going to need to set that information in there. So I'll get you to sort that out. All right, you figure that out while I do the numbers. Here we go. So first set of numbers. 1. Oops, let's do this. Move this over here. Something that's hard. 2. An orc or a half orc, you reckon, Michael? All right. Vampire is a race generally assumed human source corpse. Oh, well, not necessarily. Like I said, it can be any race you like. Maybe a graceful elf. Ooh, vote. Not but. Yeah, vote. Take it. Make a choice. So we have a 33. No, we have a 3, a 3, and a 5, and a 2 from Michael, which means we drop the 2, which is the lowest number out of the 4 numbers. So you roll 4 dice, and we take 3 of the numbers, so we drop the lowest one, obviously, and that comes out as an 11. And then the next set was from Jeremy, and that is a 1. Nice roll. 5, 1, and a 2. So we drop one of the ones, and we come out with a 5, 1, and a 2. That comes out as 8. So we've got an 8 in there. Nice job. And then Michael, you have rolled here again. That's 1, 6, 4, and 4. So out of those 4 digits, we drop the 1, and we get 4 and 6 is 10, 14 for the other 4. Okay, so 14. We need some adjustments to be made on this, but that's all right. We'll get there. Next, we have Jeremy has rolled a 4, a 4. I'm going up the and scrolling up, by the way, people, if you're wondering what's going on with the numbers, and a 6. So 4, 4, 5, and 6. Pretty good numbers. We'll drop one of the 4s. So we get a 4 and a 6 is 10, 5, 15. So we've got a 15 now. And so Jeremy, that's your numbers there. And the next set we have is from Fred. Fred has rolled a 4, a 5, a 3, and a 5. So drop the 3. 5 and 5 is 10, and 4 is 14. So we've got another pretty high number. And Fred, your last set of numbers here is 5, 2, 6, and 6. So we drop the 2. 6 and 6 is 12, plus 7, plus 5 is 17. So we got a 17 in here. It's a pretty high number. Wow. Okay, so there's some adjustments on this. These are all automatic because of the vampire. A turtle vampire. An elf vampire, a turtle vampire. My rolls were not great, sorry. Michael, you don't have to be sorry at all, because I don't care. They could all wound up being like 3s, and I really wouldn't mind in the slightest, so don't worry about it. A gnome would be very interesting for a vampire. Yeah, I think it would be quite interesting. Michael said an orc, so I'll tell you what, we're going to go with, the first thing you put forward was an orc. A half orc. Let's do a half orc. So I'm going to go up here, the vampire race half orc bracket. Half my orc. There we go. And he cannot be good, but he can be neutral. How's that? Neutral. Good luck. Okay. Do we have some... Oh, we've got... To Be is here. Hello, To Be. How are you? I'm glad you could make it. All right, so I've got you to roll those things. What we'll do is we'll put the adjustments in and add 1 for each one of these. So that 11 becomes a 12. That 8 becomes a 9. The 14 becomes a 15. The 15 becomes a 16. Cool, blimey. The 14 becomes a 15. Man, vampires are strong. 17 becomes an 18. We've got an 18. Really? How did that happen? Yeah. A half orc, half gnome. He's a short green. Yeah. All right. So now we can determine, now that we know it's a half orc, we can look in our player's handbook, find the half orc languages, which is, frankly, I can't remember what languages we get common more than likely, right? Half orc languages consist of, in the player's handbook, you speak, read, and write common and orc. So common and orc. There we go. Should have guessed that one, right? Common / orc. Dear, I'm trying too hard to sound dumb. Anyway, here we go. So we've done that. We've got those numbers. We've got to make some decisions about where these numbers go. But before we do that, I think it's going to be prudent for me to chuck this hat off, because that hat's causing me trouble. My head's heating up too much. We need to tell you what your options might be. What sort of ability scores are probably going to be the ones you want to focus on. So let's go back, like a short Hulk. Let's go back to the actual PDF that Esper's put together. And we'll scroll on down here. So you guys want to have a short orc. You want to make them short. Sure. Where do we put that? How tall is he? How tall? You tell me how tall. Let's wait. How tall is the orc? How tall is the orc? Right, that'll give you something to do. Spellcast is a spellcast is class for vampires. Let's make a melee. You want to make a melee vampire? Let's have a look at what he's got here, because he'll have some information around it, I'm sure. Bite, vampirism. He explains a little bit about that. We don't need to worry about that right now. I put here bite, claw. We'll figure those out a little bit later. But anyway, back to this. Vampirism, breathless, slam, claws. Okay, so there's a lot of different information for the vampirism stuff that I need to go over, but we're going to go over that later. Okay, so preferred ability scores. Here's his recommendations. Vampires are highly versatile, as they come from all walks of life before being converted into undead, and various bloodlines wield different kinds of powers. It is a good idea to first look over the bloodlines to get an idea of what kind of vampire you want to play. Okay. A dark beguiler will want high charisma. Okay. A nocturne needs high intelligence. Okay. And a Stragoni or vampire warrior favors strength or dexterity. Okay. All right. It's a well-fed one. Hello, Pale Rider. How are you? Somebody stated, so Fred, you've got here 4 feet and a quarter inches. 4 feet and a quarter inches. All right, we'll do that. He's a shorty. 4 feet and a quarter inches. All right, there you go. I put it in. Right, let's have a look down here at some of this stuff. I'm going to be getting you to roll hit points, but not just yet, so hold off on that. Let's see. So what is this that we get? The Beguiler, vampire pendant for influencing the mind. They are most likely to get into an era of romance. Okay. though there is nothing more than a tactic. Right, so basically they're a beguiler. That's really what they're all about. So they've got a dark beguiler saving throw. They've got a charming gaze, so you can try to control them that way. Insidious beckoning. So how does this work? You can manipulate their mind and emotions by gazing at them. Okay, all right. Insidious beckoning. You can use an innate magic to control creatures. All right, so you can control them within a certain range, 60 feet. Okay, wisdom saving throw to... All right, so there's a few things you can do there. Okay, interesting. Unarmored defense. Pertinile natural deflection. Unarmored defense at level 1. Bind thrall. Oh, you can have a thrall. You can bind a creature to your service. Okay, all right. He's going full vampire there. Let's have a look here. What else? Level 3, heightened defenses, willpower. Level 3, so you get proficiency, wisdom, saving throws. And then after that, there's no point reading out the other features because pervasive influence is level 7. We won't be going to level 7. Terrifying, level 7. Dominating gaze, level 9. I'll let you guys check out this stuff, okay? And then Heart Drinker is level 9 as well. Okay. Nocturn. What's the Nocturn all about? This is a spellcaster. So you get cantrips, you get spellbook. Okay. They're a dark scholar of the arcane arts by the looks. To me, it's a vampire wizard, essentially. We kind of figured that was the case, I'm sure. Ritual casting. So basically, it's the wizard overlay, isn't it? And there's a bunch of stuff here around that. Quite a big section by the looks. And then you get your spells. Oh, you get... Really? Man. Vampires get two level, second level slots. I did not get that with my ogre. Ogre's obviously not very good at spell casting. Vampires, obviously, much better. So, yes. That's interesting. And you get 4 cantrips. So 4 and 2. I might just make a note of that now. 4 slots, 2 slots. Okay. All right. So what do you get here? You get unarmored defense for the Nocturne. You get heightened defenses, so proficiency in wisdom saving throws again. So it's the same sort of thing. Shadow caster. So you get a couple of things when you use an action spell cast. Okay, so this is Blade of Death and Shadow Gaze. Interesting. All right, I'm not too familiar with them. Nocturne Veil, Umbra. As an action, you can cast a spell of darkness, so you get to cast darkness, basically. That's level 7. Deepening Shadows. So Wings of the Night is an action. So you can cast Cloak of Shadows without expending a spell slot. And then the Hunger, the Umbral Hungerer, is what? You deal damage. Necrotic damage. And then Spirit Drinker is level 9, and it looks to me... are you fed on a person, you gain 3 levels worth of bonus spell slot. What? When you feed on a person, you gain 3 levels worth of bonus spell slots. In other words, this functions as either 1 third level slot or 1 second level slot plus a first level slot or 3 first level slots. Good lord. If unused, these bonus spell slots disappear after 24 hours. Core blimey. So you can drink their spirit to get your spell casting back. Totally sick. Stragoni. I think it's Stragoni. The monstrous vampire bloodline. Dwell in sewers, crypts, and ruins. They are frighteningly effective at attacking with their natural weapons, and they have a supernatural connection to the nocturnal beasts. Oh, okay. Stragoni saving DC. Certain Stragoni features require the target to make a saving throw. Okay, so that's fine. Let's go down. Feral Striker at level 1. You can make a bite attack. Do additional damage. Okay, all right. And then damage transfer. Oh, really? You can transfer damage half. Okay. Takes the half. Right, so, If you take damage while grappling a creature, you can spend your reaction to take half the damage, and the creature you are grappling takes half the other damage. Ooh, okay. Oh, shizes. Recharges short or long rest. Okay, unarmored defense again. Okay, so we've got a different formula for them. Dreaded Lurker at level 3. You can stalk prey, and you can take the hide action as a bonus action. Oh god, here we go. There's a rogue. You can attempt to hide even when you are only lightly obscured. That's not good. When you are hidden from the creature you hit with a melee attack or grapple. You can attempt to frighten it, so you can try and frighten it as well. Okay, so level 3, heightened defenses. So Constitution is your saving throw for this one, by the looks. Bat forms, level 7, I won't go over them in detail. Knight of the Children of the Night is level 9, and then Life Drinker, level 9. And then we have the Vampire Warrior. So there's actually 4 options here. I didn't realize this. Vampire Warrior is a term for a variety of elite vampire swordsman and knight. Not only are they experts at using the use of weapons, but they also infuse their martial skill with their supernatural effects. Good lord. Okay, so we have a DC for our vampire warrior. We have some talents. Level 1, you gain proficiency with medium armor, heavy armor, shields, and martial weapons. Well, that's not too bad. Your hit point maximum increases by 1 and increases by 1 again whenever you gain a level in Vampire. You gain a fighting style chosen from the fighters class, so you can pick anything you like. Alright, unarmored defense, so you got toughened skin, level 1. Sagane blade, level 3. What's this do? You learn how to absorb your foe's blood through attacks and with swords and axes and other handheld weapons. When you hit a creature with a weapon melee attack, you can deal the necrotic damage of your bite, including the other associated effects. The weapon must be one that you are wielding in a hand, not an unarmed strike. Okay, so you have to be wielding a weapon. Okay, so you can use it a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus. Then it's time for a rest to get it back. Heightened defenses, so that's Constitution saving throw as a benefit. Blood flow, level 7. And then you get into spells. Was there another feature? Oh, there were. Level 9, you get crippling. Is that crippling? Oh, crippling blow and iron drinker. Right. Okay, so there's a few choices. People. All right, I think what we need to do is you need to make a choice about what it's going to be. So let's go back and I've read them all out. I'm not going to read them all out again. Okay, but I will certainly put forward that it's time for you to make a choice about what you want to play. Dominating gaze, beguiler. Let's go back. Preferred. Okay, so there are 4 options. What type of vampire? Okay, and the question is, so the first one is the Dark Beguiler. Dark Beguiler. The Nocturn in Noctor. Did it change the name? Noctor? No, that's fine. Okay, just put a capital in there. I was getting worried. Okay, the Stragoni, which I struggle to pronounce. Stragoni, like everything else. And then the Vampire Warrior. Or Vampire Warrior. Right, I think this is a big choice. Okay, so I'm going to be assigning a few things in a second because I'm going to have to. But what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to jump back and I might post this as a poll. So I'll change my screen for a second. And I'll put it into here. And copy this. For those of you who are here. All right, interesting. So a lot of people have not played a vampire before. I'm not that surprised. So, Dark Beguiler. Dark Beguiler. I'm just putting the poll up now, but you feel free to just put in your choice now if you want to. That's fine too. I know some people don't really want to see their name pop up in the chat, so this is why I'm putting this down in this way. It's a bit more anonymous then. People don't know you're there. And then a vampire, right, vampire warrior. No, I've got to spell it right. Vampire warrior. Okay, let's put this up. Right, poll is going up. Vote on whatever you want, and we'll go from there. He can be a fat bat. He could be a fat bat. He's going to grapple. Yes, apparently he can grapple. Jeremy, absolutely. He's a dive-bombing orc vampire where he flies above his head and changes to a stocky orc and lands on them. Yeah, he could be. Absolutely. Yeah, well, he's short, wide. Yeah, he's a vampire, and he's short, and he's half orc. So, yeah. So, do your voting while I start plugging in some of the details that I needed to plug in. Okay? And I'll come back to that in a second while you're working through this, because I have the vampirism stuff that I need to transfer over. Lucky me. I might get you to roll the hit points now too, actually, but I'm tempted not to do that just because of the confusion level, but maybe I will. Hit points, let's confuse it up a bit. Hit points, a couple of things at the same time, then I can just chuck things in. Okay, so you're picking the class. It's like the subclass for your vampire. Subclass for your vampire. Okay? Pick the subclass for your vampire. Okay, hashtag. Well, there's a lot of rules on this. I can tell you that now. Please roll 1 8-sided dice. So I'm going to get you to roll the hit points now while we're waiting for people to vote on that. You went to lag free, all good. Oh, okay, but that's what I was picking. Okay, not really sure. Okay, that's weird. Just if you can't put the vote in, that's all right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to work out our hit points. 5 levels to work out. So that means I need at least to have 4 people roll an 8-sided dice, because at level 1 we'll get maximum hit points. So what you see before you is hit dice is a 1d8 for a vampire level. Hit points at first level will be 8 plus a constitution modifier. We haven't got our constitution modifier yet, but we'll get there. But I'll get the numbers for that rolled now while you guys are making some choices, and I can start putting in some of the information. Light and simple weapons, I can add that into proficiencies. Light and simple weapons. Light armor. Simple weapons. Okay, not a bad one. Michael, thank you for rolling a 7. I just need 3 more rolls. Jeremy, you have rolled up a 6, is it? Yep. 6. 2 more rolls required on that. Okay, so no tools, but we do have strength and strength throws. Dexterity and charisma are our proficiency ones. So strength. Was it strength and... Oh, no, it's not strength. It's dexterity, charisma. Sorry. Dexterity, charisma. kind of obvious. Next, choose two skills. Well, okay, we're going to do some skill choosing in a second, but we need to get the other stuff done. I'm still waiting on my hit points. I still need 2 more 8-sided dice to be rolled. I haven't seen the description of the other vampires, however, I am enjoying DMing a spellcaster vampire as in Strad. Okay. Spellcaster, the vampire that sort of the spellcaster is the Nocturn is a spellcaster. That's definitely that's a high intelligence, so it's basically a wizard. Brian, the Nocturn, Nocturne, that one. That's definitely a spellcaster. And so is the Dark Beguiler, but that's more around charisma. You rolled a 5. Okay, that's a 5 for our hit points. I need 1 more roll from people, and then I'll know all my hit points. That's just good. Okay. Now, bloodlines. So we've got a few things we need to add in. Expert skills. All right, there's a lot of choices to be made. You have resistance. Okay, at least. Oh, we get multi-attack. Good lord. All right, Brian, you rolled a 5 as well. Okay, so we've got those numbers. All right, so there's a few choices to be made. So I'm going to get you to make some choices now in terms of what direction we're going. Let's have a look at our class. Just going to rip on back over here and check my poll. How's this poll coming along? Oh, the Vampire Warrior and the Stragoni are neck and neck. And Michael could not vote, so it looks like it's going to be the Vampire Warrior for today, which is fine. Out of 2 votes. We don't have too many people voting, obviously. That's all right. What I will do is I will transfer over, give people a little bit more time to vote. Well, you can, but it doesn't matter. We can return it and we could make vampires another day. I mean it's not like it's not like you'll never get to make a vampire using Esper's stuff again on my channel. It might well happen again. In fact, if people say, Fred, we like doing that, we want to do it again, then, and if if enough of the patrons say yeah, and it's a patron, I'll probably say yes. If there are enough people say yes, they want to do that again, then yeah, it's going to happen. So you don't have to worry. Either way. Okay. All right. Cool. So we've got that. So what I'll do is let's get the vampirism information in. So vampirism, being a vampire, you have a number of characteristics. So feeding, as a vampire, you have a necessity to feed upon living people. I see, stipulated. For the purpose of this feature, a person is a humanoid, dragon, fae, giant. Okay, so he stipulated what they are. That is sapient and speaks the language. A feeding involves you drinking a person's blood until you have killed them with your necrotic damage. Oh, good lord. Feeding is a supernatural process as a person's blood remains in your system for only a moment before your body converts it into life essence that will sustain you. If 10 nights pass in which you have not fed, you must make a charisma saving throw the following sunset. The DC is 10 and increases by 1 each sunset thereafter. On a failed save, you become no more than a you become no more than mindless hunger that carelessly attacks any living creature in sight. You regain the control of yourself after you have fed. Okay, so that's the feeding one. Breathless, you can draw breath in order to speak or to appear as a living person, but you don't require air to survive. You also have no heartbeat, and when you lie motionless, you appear as a corpse. Okay, Graveborn. The ritual that transformed you into a vampire bound you to a coffin or a crypt. Interesting. This is known as your resting place, though it does not need to remain stationary. You can keep your coffin in a carriage, for example. You can only take long rests when you rest when you're resting in your resting place. Though you can take short rests normally. Okay, so you've got to carry your coffin around, people. If your resting place is destroyed, you can bind yourself to a new one by performing a 1-hour ritual. You must be in the new resting place during the entirety of the ritual. And the ritual, if the ritual fails, if the coffin or crypt already belongs to someone else. Okay, so you can't use somebody else's coffin if it's a vampire. Weakness, forbidden, staked the heart and sunlight hypersensitivity. I think we've got that pretty much figured out. Nice. Okay, let me transfer all of these over. Vampirism, so feeding, and this is all on page 23. Okay. Vampirism, 23. Feeding. Okay, page 23. There's a lot of information on the vampire. It looks like it doesn't look like it's breathless and gravebound. Breathless and gravebound. Okay, so I need to transfer over to the screen and you can see. Sorry about that, people. Breathless and gravebound. Breathless. Okay. Gravebound. Okay, page 23. What else is there? Gravebound, we had weakness. Weakness. Page 23. Okay. All right, so I've got all that stuff in there. We need to make some choices about skills, but first we need to get these ability scores sorted out. So let's just see what you decided ultimately in terms of what we are going to be using today. What are we going to be building? What's the poll say now? Same. Okay. All right. Stragoni or the Vampire Warrior? It looks like that's what it's going to be. It's going to be the Stragoni or the Vampire Warrior. All right. Let's... Now, I believe the Stragoni and the Vampire Warrior, if we were looking at what you needed to sort of focus on in terms of preferred ability scores, it's going to be strength or dexterity for the Stragoni or Vampire Warrior. So I guess let's decide which one it's going to be. I believe it is going to be the Vampire Warrior, probably. Yep, Vampire Warrior. So Vampire Warrior, what do you need? Well, you're probably going to go melee, or you're going to go ranged. But you get a lot of stuff being a Vampire Warrior. So let's make it a Vampire Warrior. Let's go down here. Sorry. Vampire Warrior. And what page is our Vampire Warrior on? It is on page 29. No, what had happened there? Undead page 29. Okay, so let's start making some decisions around what you want to do with this. Our highest number is an 18. Where does the 18 go? Hashtag. Where does the 18 go for abilities? Ability score. Soiled blankets, check. Carry 2 very dirty blankets that have grave dirt. Carry your grave dirt is easy. Okay, all right. Nice, lovely. Okay, so while you guys are deciding on what it's going to be, Fred reckons strength, What are our numbers? Okay, your numbers are, your final numbers are this: 18, 15, 16, 15, 9, 12. I'll say it again: 18, 15, 16, 15, 9, 12. Those are the numbers, Jeremy. Make a decision, and while you're doing that, I'll pump in some of the extra bits and pieces. So we get the Warrior's Talent. Warrior's Talents, and that is on page 29, I believe. And what does Warrior's Talent give us? You gain proficiency with medium armor, heavy armor, shields, martial weapons. Pretty much you have everything now. Okay, well done. So light armor, medium, heavy armor, simple, and martial weapons, shields. You get that as well. Shouldn't it be straight? No, you don't have to do straight. There's a reason why I just let you have choices. How's it going? Prepare, cook, and survive. How are you? Dexterity. Brian said dexterity. 8. Jeremy's going with strength, high. Okay, I see. Well, we've got 2 people who want the strength to be the highest. So strength it is. Strength it is. That's fine. No problems. Strength is going to be the 18, which is a +4. Our proficiency is going to be a +3. I'm pretty sure at level 5 you get a +3. It's a proficiency bonus. So that's 18 is the strength. And not really a bad idea. Charisma is important to a vampire in all versions, so 16 there. Yeah, but we've got, so we've got 2 15s, a 16 and 18. Chip and input. Don't know. Why is it a bad idea? Okay, all right. I'd like to see something go the reverse. What is the worst one that we could put it into? Okay, all right. Okay, I'll tell you what. I was going to ask you where do I put the 16. I'm going to ask the question because it doesn't seem like it's clear to what people are saying. Where does the 16 go for ability? Go for ability score. All right, decide where that's going to go while I continue working my way through here. No, we have an 18, a 15, we have an 18, 1 16, 2 15s, a 9 and a 12. Okay? Oh, I can see it now. 18, 16, 15. I suppose I should have just done this the first time round, right? Rather than just talking. It probably was going to be a bit more helpful if I just did this. Yeah, that's it. Correct. Where do we get the bonuses? Okay. We've already determined the bonuses. I know what the bonuses are. We worked that out in advance. The bonuses, I've written them in the chat. It's in the chat, so I don't have to keep repeating it. Okay. All right. Now, where was I? I was trying to work my way through this. Your hit point maximum increases by 1 and increases by 1 again every level. So okay, so that's good to know. So hit points maximum by 1, increase again. Okay, 1. So I need to add 1 to every single one of these levels. That's an interesting predicament. You're going to get a lot of hit points in the end. No, it's not 2 16s. 10 to 4. 10 to 4. 10 to 4. 10 to 4. I should be taking a break. I'm gonna let you guys work out where you want to put those numbers. Okay, and I'm gonna take a 5-minute break, come back very quickly, and continue on before the level of confusion increases too much. We've got to get these ability scores down because we're past the hour mark for sure. So for a warrior, your dexterity and your strength are important. Okay, your vampire DC is determined by your strength, dexterity, or dexterity. Either one doesn't matter. Okay, your unarmored defense is determined by your dexterity modifier and your constitution. So your unarmored defense is determined by dexterity and constitution modifier. And then, frankly, after that, it really doesn't matter for the warrior. Do you know what I mean? So you're all good. Wisdom should be the lowest. Hashtag. Suggest some ability score positions. Just put forward your sort of your general sort of thoughts on it, and I will just look at it when I get back. I think that's the easiest way. Okay. All right. No, not that one. This one. 5 minutes. I'll be back. If not less. All right, so I see you guys are trying to figure out what to do with this. Ah, dear. You haven't set the stats. But we do need to set the stats because we're going to run out of time otherwise. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Some choices need to be made. Let's get these stats down. I put down the 18 and strength, but people want to change that. You need to say now. Strength, okay. Okay, all right. So what are we doing with the dexterity? I want to know with dexterity, constitution, where are these other numbers going? Okay. All right. I'm going to just make a decision very, very shortly because I will have to. Okay, good. Thank you. Somebody said something. That'll do. 16, which is +3. That's fine. Fine. Got that one. Charisma. What are we doing? 15s. Where's the 15s going? Hashtag. Where do 15s go? Con, sure, that'll do. I think. No, it's 4.5 now. That's the one. So con 15 done, which is a +2. Okay, I've got another 15 I can spend. Constitution. All right, we're making some choices. Somebody said wisdom. They wanted to be the 9. Is that what we're going to do? Yeah, the last 15 is going to go into what? Is it going to go into intelligence, wisdom, or charisma? Okay, I've done constitution. It's a 15. I've got that. Dump the wisdom. Intelligence. Right, done. 12. It's +1. Thank you. Dump the wisdom. 9. There's a -1. Which means the 15 is going into charisma. +2. Whoops. +2. Charisma, wisdom, intelligence. All right. Okay. Cool. Right. This is good. Right. We're going to get you some choices to make while I am filling in numbers. Going back to this thing right to the very beginning, with all the different choices that we had with this little sucker, you get pick two skills: acrobatics, athletics, deception, insight, intimidation, perception, persuasion, religion, stealth, or survival. Hashtag. Pick 2 skills. All right, pick 2 skills, and I'll start putting some numbers in, people. We've got these, so we can go. Strength is now a +4. We are proficient, aren't we? We are proficient. Proficiency is a 3. Yes, I was right. So, strength dex is, and that will be 6. 3 and 3 is 6. Okay. Constitution is a 2. Charisma. Not so smart. Yes. -1. And charisma 3 and 2 is 5. I need some skills, people. What skills are we going to pick? Do I need to say them again? Acrobatics, athletics, deception, insight, intimidation, perception, persuasion, religion, stealth, survival. Which one? Okay. Deception. Deception, done. It's 1. So our attack bonus for our bite should be 4 plus the 3 is a 7. Oh, cool, blummy claws. 4, 3, 7. Damage output, I haven't figured that out. I'll do that. Athletics and deception. All right, fine, done. Easy peasies. 7 steezies. Okay, so we've got that. I've done this. Equipment, bloodline, beguiler. We've done the bloodline already. Expert skills. So at level 2 and 8. So at level 2, you get 2 more skills. If you are not proficient with a chosen skill, you are proficient with it. If you are proficient with a chosen skill, you gain expertise. So, expert skills. We need 2 more skills. Perception and insight. That'll do nicely. Thank you very much. Perception and insight. It's on page 24. Spirit skills. Page 24. Page 24. Done it. Good. Next. We get an ability score improvement. We probably should deal with that now. What do we want to increase? And you get to increase an ability score by either 1 by a value of 2, or you get to increase 2 by 1. So what's it going to be? Nothing can be more than 20. What do we want to do? Hashtag, where does the ability score increase go? Remember, you can increase 2 by 1, or you can increase one of them by 2. All right? Does that make sense? Okay. Multi-attack, I can put that in now. You have learned how to better coordinate your attacks. As an action, you can make 2 attacks. Only one of these attacks can be a bite. Okay. Sweet. Multi-attack. Let's add it in. That'll be page, I think it's the same page, isn't it? 24. Strength. Oh, okay. It seems like strength is going. We're going for strength, are we? Yep, it is. 24. So strength it is. Strength it out. We're going for a 20. 20 makes that a 5. Make a few adjustments here. That's a 5 now. Instead of +5. Yep, that's correct. Which means that these numbers are going to be higher. It's a 5 and a 3, which becomes an 8 for bite and the claw. We can do our hit points now. Thank God for that. Dexterity is a +3. Good. Good times. What book are we getting this from? Curse of Strahd? No, this is the PDF that you find down in the description. I want you to pick a background. Hashtag. We need to have a background. Let's pick a background. Hashtag. Pick a background. Okay. All right. So, Jeremy, Fred, I've paid attention. Our con is a 2, so we need to add that on. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Adding that up for level 1 is going to be 11. Level 2 is 7, 1 and 2, which comes to 10. Level 3, it'll be 6, 1 and 2, which comes to 9. Level 4, it's 5, 1 and 2, which comes to 8. And the last level 5 will come to 5, 1 and 2, which is another 8. So we add all those up. That's 20, 30, 46. 46 hit points. Right, so I got a few hit points. For a vampire, you're doing pretty well. Just rate the bottom 2 by 1, maybe. Orphan rejected kid that got adopted by a hag and traded into a vampire. Yep, we could do the orphan if you want to. Try to pick a background that I don't have to hunt too far to find. Okay. He gnashed the... No, I don't think so. No, Jeremy. Readjust that. It's not going to show up. So, we need to go 5 times, and this is an 8, 1d8 plus our con, which is 2 for our hit dice. There we go, 1d8 plus 2 for hit dice. Armor class, I need to figure that out too, don't I? Nocturn resistance. Alright, so here we go. So necrotic resistance at level 2. We get that as well. So that's resistance to necrotic damage. Necrotic resistance. Okay, alright, necrotic resistance. After that one. Necrotic resistance. $24. Okay, I think that's right. You spoke it. Well, I think it's going to be an orphan. Looks to me like it's going to be an orphan. So we've got our bloodlines. Okay. Spider climb later on, I see at level 6. Regeneration at level 10 and 18. Magical attacks at 7. Oh my god, versatility at level 9. Essence drain at level 10. Mist form at level 11. Alright. It's quite a lot going on there. Alright, so this is the orphan. Background, where are we? Orphan. There we go. Oh, well, so we've got, we've probably got, do we have time? Orphan. Urchin. Urchin. It's got to be the urchin. That's the orphan, basically, isn't it? Alright, so, let us truck in here. Urchin. Sleight of hand and stealth are the proficient skills, so there's a couple more to add. Stealth, sleight of hand. Proficient with thieves' tools and disguise kit. Whoops, can we disguise? Disguise kit. Thieves' tools. Thieves' tools. Alright, so there's some choices. A botched abortion. Abortion orphan. Okay. Okay. Mother died giving birth. Prepared cooking. I believe we've got the urchin orphan. Oh my god, here we go. I'm losing it. So let's get you to make some choices. Roll a d8. Hashtag. Roll a d8 for personality. For personality. Okay, I'm looking at the table. I need you to roll some 8-sided dice. Roll some 8-sided dice, and I'll fill in those things in a second. We'll give him some gold, but we're going to give you whatever equipment you like if we have time. He's got a small knife. Thieves' tools. What's good that he's got thieves' tools? That's handy. What else do we have? Oh no, it's not thieves' tools. No, it's a map of city. Okay, map of city. Sorry, looking at the wrong place. Map of city. Got it. Pet mouse. Really? Is that mouse still around? Pet mouse. A token to remember your parents. Token. We've got a 4. And I got a 2. Lovely. That's going to come out well. Okay. And pouch. We've got that. And common close. Well, we're going to have a lot more than that. Anyway, so let's see what those numbers come up with. First one, Fred has rolled. I sleep with my back to a wall or tree. Whenever I whatever I own is wrapped in a bundle in my arms. Okay. I sleep with my back to a wall or tree. Okay, that was that was the one that we got from Fred. And Michael, what have you got for me? You got a 2. I ask a lot of questions. Okay. You ask a lot of questions because you probably don't know very much. Well, actually, yeah, your intelligence is pretty high, so you probably do. So roll me some 6-sided dice. Hashtag. Roll me some d6. Here we go. So I need the ideals, the bond, and the flaw now. And then that's kind of got that where that needs to be. While you're doing the rolling of the dice, I'm going to start putting in some numbers into our skills. Since we have our skills sorted out now, acrobatics was just dexterity. It's just a +2. And animal handling is wisdom, so that is a -1. Intelligence is only going to be a +1 on the arcana. Our strength is 5 + 3, which is 8, because we're trained. So we're pretty good at that. Deception is going to be charisma. No, deception is, yes, it is, yeah, charisma. 2 and 3 is 5. How are we doing with our numbers? I got one number. I need some, Michael, thank you for rolling a 6-sided dice. I need 2 more numbers, people, for this. 2 more numbers. History, intelligence is +1. Insight is wisdom, which is bad, but we've got it, so that means it's 3 - 1 is 2. Intimidate is a 2. Investigation is intelligence, is +1. Wisdom again with medicine is a -1. We're not really into medicine. Nature +1 for intelligence. Perception is wisdom, and okay, so that is going to be a 3 minus 1. So that's 2. Performance, charisma is plus 2. I think we're getting there. Persuasion is charisma plus 2. Religion is plus 1. Sleight of hand is dexterity, so that's a 3. And our proficiency, which is 3, so that comes out as 6. Stealth is the same. 3 and 3 is 6. And then wisdom for survival is a minus 1. Okay, good. I've got 3 numbers now. Cool. Right, let's get in these values, shall we? So the first one Michael rolled was a 6. So for ideals, that is aspiration. I'm going to prove that I am worthy of a better life. Okay, all right. Let's do that. I'm going to prove that I'm worthy of a better life. Good luck. You're dead. Good luck. That was the ideal. The bond is rolled by by Jeremy. Got a 4. 4. What did you get? I owe a debt I can never repay to a person that took pity on me. Oh, good Lord. I owe a debt I can never repay to the person who took pity on me. Okay, I got that one down. Right, last one. Michael, you've rolled a 1. You rolled another 5. So Michael, I took your 6. Jeremy, I took your 4. Michael, I was going to take your 1, but Brian's rolled a 5. So 5 is the floor. I'm not stealing if I need it more than... it's not stealing if I need it more than someone else. Okay, all right. It's not stealing if I need it more than someone else. Okay. Sweet. That's down. And how we're doing for time. Bond is to hang to the... God. Really? Really? He wants to be a banker. A blood banker, right? The hag took pity on him. Okay. Alright, so I filled in this. I filled in that. I need to just make sure that this is the basic vampire stuff that we've got at level 5. That's all done. So we'll go back to the warrior. All the way down here somewhere. And make sure we've got all the bits and pieces. So we've got all our proficiencies. We've done that. We have to take a fighting style. So the fighters have fighting styles. So pick a fighting style, people. You gain a fighting style. It's part of your talent. Hashtag. Pick a fighting style. Okay, if we get a fighting style down, then we're looking good. City secrets is your feature. I need to make sure I put that in as well. City secrets. That's page 141 of the player's handbook. Okay. Cool. Grappler, hand to hand. You want grappler. Jeremy said grappler. Okay. That's the fighting style you want. All right. There are a number of fighting styles you can certainly have. Like there's a few. For those of you grappler. Oh, we're looking like it's going to be going grappler, isn't it? Is grappler and Tasha's correct? I think Grappler is in Tasha's. Grappler won't be in the player's handbook, it'll be in Tasha's. Where's Tasha's? Yeah, there it is. Tasha's. Grappler must be in Tasha's. I'm pretty sure it's one of the newer things. Fighter, fighting styles, fighter clock. Okay, so 41. 41. Where are we? Blind. Unarmed fighting, bracing. Where? Oh, here we go. And that's maneuver. That's a maneuver. That's not right. Unarmed fighting. Is it unarmed fighting that you want? Yep, right on the lip. No. Bear hug and then in with the bite. Grapple. Bite lunch. Oh, what are those? They're the same ones as the player's handbook. Okay, here we go. You get archer, defense, dueling, great weapon fighting, protection, 2-weapon fighting. The Tasha's fighting styles are unarmed fighting, thrown weapon fighting, superior technique, interception, blind fighting. There we go. There's a bunch. Unarmed, yes, unarmed. All right, I knew it would come in there. It had to be that one, right? Unarmed. Here we go. Unarmed fighting. Page 42 of Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. Okay. Sweet. That's that done. Let's have a look back at this thing. So we've got our fighting style, unarmored defense. We need to work out our unarmored defense, which is 10 plus our dex modifier plus our constitution modifier. You can use a shield with this as well, so you can have a shield as well. So con and dex modifiers, add them together. Con and dex. This comes out at 15. Unarmed defense at 15. Cool, blimey. And you can wear full plate armor if you really wanted to. Unarmored defense. Wow. Unarmored defense. What was the page? Forgot. It's page 29 of this. Okay. Toughened skin. That's what it's called. Alright, okay. 29. I won't do that. Too much to go into. Sahagan Blade. Oh, okay. You learn how to absorb your foe's blood through attacks with swords, axes, and other handheld weapons. When you attack a creature with a melee weapon attack, you can deal the necrotic damage of your bite, including all the associated effects. The weapon must be one that you are wielding in a hand, not an unarmed strike. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, though no more than once per attack. Okay, you regain this expended use when you finish a short or long rest. So Sahagan Blade. God, I got a Sahagan. Oh, it's UI. It's UI. In Blade. And right. Full plate. You want a full. Oh well. Let's see. Have we picked some armor yet? We haven't. Have we picked some equipment? We haven't really picked some equipment. Okay. Pick some gear. You're level 5. You can have plate armor if you want. Pick some equipment. There aren't too many choices with it's not like, I mean, you play this character, the vampire warrior doesn't have a lot of choices within its subclass. Does that make sense? It's kind of predetermined. I believe that's correct. So pick some equipment. A blade 1. What sort of blade? Are we talking about a long sword, short sword, or what? What do you want? Let me know. Okay, so this is level 3. Heightened defenses, proficiency with Constitution saving throws. Okay, did we already not have that? No, we didn't. So we're now proficient with Constitution saving throws. Shizzers. Alright, let's do that. Heightened defenses, durability. Okay. Heightened defenses. Durability. And it is page 29, I'm pretty sure. Yes, and it's the charisma. So the Constitution goes up on our saving throw. Instead of it being a 2, it's going to be a 3 and a 2. It's a 5. It's gone up. All right. And we don't need to worry about any other things. We're not going to level 7. We're only going to level 5. Thank God for that. Okay, so I've only got to deal with your equipment selections now. Whew. Always cutting it very fine on these. Always cutting it very fine in terms of the numbers. Just make sure I've got all of the bits and pieces in here. Keep throwing in your suggestions, people. I'll write them all down. We're not going to give you inspiration because you haven't done anything. Right. La-di-da-di-da-da-da-da-da. Who's playing this character? Double-headed. Oh, the name. We've got to put the name down. I forgot about the name. Blood Bag Bobby. Blood Bag Bobby. Of all the things to call a character. Dear. Okay, there you go, Michael. Alright, so let's have a look at your equipment selections. Doll's head that he combs and speaks to. Okay, right, doll's head. I was expecting something else. Doll's head. You're easy to please. Yes, you can have a doll's head token. Pick and shovel to store future meals. Pick and shovel. Okay. Shovel. Got it. What else? Fred's got his pick and shovel. A double-headed doll's head. A double-headed doll's head? Oh my gosh, Jeremy. Can we just not have it? You can have more than one doll's head, okay? It's all right. Dual-wheeled solid blankets with grave dirt on them. Oh my god, you guys are losing it again. I like the axe or a longsword. Axe or long... Look, I'm not going to... Don't... So, are we talking about a great axe or a battle axe? Longsword? Longsword. You got one. Get a longsword. Longsword. Okay? Did somebody say they wanted plate armor before? I'm sure I saw somebody making a mention of plate armor. Explorer's pack. Okay, yeah, sure. Explorer's pack. You can have one of them. Holy water and garlic. Are you really? All the silver crosses are equipment. I think that's probably not going to go down well. I think that's going to be a bit of a problem. I do feel like this character may struggle with that concept. You may have gone completely out of their comfort zone. Okay, so Vampire Warrior DC, we need to figure that out. 8 plus your proficiency bonus, strength or dex. Okay, so this is actually pretty easy to figure out. Vampiric Warrior DC is 8, proficiency 3, and that, so 8, oh, it's 8, 8, 16. Jeez, it's high. Wow, blimey. Full plate. Full plate. Armor. Alright, so full plate armor. If I have to change the armor class now on this thing, don't I? Do I even remember what it is? Do you want a shield, people? Are you wanting a shield? If you don't want a shield, you let me know. Fred, you aren't expecting us to make a run-of-the-mill everyday vampire. No, I'm not. I'm expecting you to make whatever the crazy stuff you can think of, because this is what always happens, whether I approve or not. And this is, I mean, frankly, this is an opportunity to make characters we may never get to play, right? Or at least sample it. So part and parcel of that is goofing around. I totally understand. So that means our armor class is now 18. Because we have plate. Alright, do you want a shield? You let me know now, otherwise I'm going to work out your longsword attack. Longsword. Longsword is going to be a... What the heck is it going to be? It's going to be... Come on, Fred, make it work. Longsword is proficiency and strength. So, it comes out as an 8. Nah, no shield. You don't want a shield. Okay, that's fine. Be hard to use a shield with biting ankles. I don't know. I mean, is it? He has the sword and shield, but dropped them to grapple and... You can't drop a shield in 5e. That's the only problem, is it takes a whole action. No shield. Okay, that looks like the no shield is definitely taking over. Well, that's fine. No shield it is. So, given that you don't want a shield, your attacks with the weapon are going to do what? Because there's something else that I need to add here, isn't there? Longsword is, it's a d8. On d8. It is slashing. And it's versatile. Well, that didn't help. Versatile, and it's going to have a plus 5. Plus 5? Can I do the plus 5? Doesn't like that. Let's take this out then. Let's just do the math. Alright, okay. Now it likes it. Fine. You awkward thing, you. Alright. So Hagen Blade will have done something to your attacks now. So this is where it gets it. You had to take it with a melee attack, you gain a... Alright, so it's going to depend if you decide to use it. So I'm not going to build it in. Alright, that's fine. I won't build it in. What was the other thing that we needed to do? Is there anything I'm missing here? We don't have spells. Get rid of the spell slots. We've got our that. We've got that. We've got that. I think we've got most of the stuff that we needed to have here. There's something around your unarmed strikes, isn't there? I almost forgot. There is definitely something around your unarmed strikes. It's not crippling blow. It's the fact that when you... It's part of your standard biting attack? I think it's part of that. And then your unarmed attacks are going to be whack. Good. So they are... It's 1d6 plus strength modifier. On a hit. If you aren't wielding a weapon or shield, you can make the attack... make the attack roll. Roll the d6 becomes a d8. Okay. Shizers. Alright. So that's interesting. Let me just see if I can find the bite and slash again amongst all of these things. Claws. How do we work this out? Bite at 6th level. Well, you're not 6th level, so we don't have to worry about that. So 1d6 strength or dex. So it's actually just like unarmed strike. So it's your unarmed fighting is kind of void to a large extent. Oh no, there's a bit of a bonus there. Claws, 1d8. So claws is a 1d8 in strength, and the bite is a 1d6. Okay, alright. 1d6 plus 5, which is like crazy high. And then the claw will be 1d8 plus 5. And I think that's everything. Honestly, I think I've got it all down. Talk about a complicated process, but we got there. Oh, you want 2 daggers as well. You want Sun, Gwen? Oh, okay. No, not really. Longsword, I think I've talked to one of my friends, and like the longsword should be the best weapon in the game, just because of the nature of them. But it doesn't matter. we're out of time. 2 daggers. There you go. You got 2 daggers as well. All right, we've done it. We finished it. We've built our vampire. Core blimey. Blood bag Bobby. Dear. Let's shuffle this over here. Get me moving. Because I should be on my bike, and I'm not. The vampire warrior eventually. Oh, somebody's tried to change the poll just recently. The beguiler. So don't freak out, people. We can come back to the other 3 at some point if you really want me to. Okay, we'll see how people feel about this. This vampire stuff. Yeah, we've done it. We've built a vampire warrior, but there are 3 others we haven't built, which we could build. Again, it depends on how people feel about doing that. Go for the Achilles. I don't know about that, but anyway. Hello, Joe. Joe is a patron, also a moderator, and he's also got a YouTube channel that covers miniatures and terrain, stuff like that, and does reviews. Hopefully he'll be painting on his channel at some point. You never know. It could happen. Anyway, I've got to get myself moving. We'll be dealing with basic combat, I think it is, tomorrow. Basic combat mechanics, something like that. In any case, I want to say a big thank you to all of my patrons who support me on Patreon so I can keep doing this sort of thing. I do appreciate it. It does make a big difference, frankly. Otherwise, it would be very, very difficult to continue. I want to thank everybody who took part in the polls today. Anybody who commented in the chat, thank you very much for doing so. A huge thank you to Michael, Jeremy, Prepare, Cook, Survive, Fred Hubber. Who else was there? I'm sure there was somebody else that I might have missed. Brian. Is there anybody else out there? I can't remember. I can't see. I think that's most of the people that were interacting today. So big thank you for those people. Thank you for watching the live stream or rewatching the live stream and the edited videos and stuff like that. Blah 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 blah. So wherever you are in the world, you know it. Whether it's the morning or the night, or the wee early morning, or you need to be going to work like I should be. Please look after yourself, your family, and your friends. Be nice to your neighbours. And hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s.